that Red China is getting ready and preparing to invade the West Coast. And when the Chinese come, now remember, God has purposed this in their hearts to do this. Here very soon, and I feel it's going to be real soon, that the communist Red Chinese are going to invade the West Coast. They're going to take the West Coast hands down. America is going to be caught completely off guard from Seattle, Washington, all the way down to Baja, California. And I started praying and I'm saying, God, how are they going to do this? I mean, they just can't walk in. He said, yeah, they are. He said, they're going to walk right in. The whole nation's going to be caught off guard. And the way they're going to do it, it's going to be beyond imagination. Now, I was talking to Sarah, my scribe, my webmaster, about this. Now, what God was showing me is that when China comes, they are not going to have any mercy on the men, women, or children. And this is where the travail is, the ungodly army that's coming. It'll be about 25 Red Chinese soldier to every one American. They shall be coming like locusts or like the African harvester ant. They're going to come by the millions upon the millions upon millions are going to swarm. They have been given the orders to kill every man, woman, and child to save engineers, to save certain things, and to take and keep certain things. Certain educated people are going to keep, certain military officials are going to try to get. Situation on the West Coast with the Red Chinese coming, and me explaining basically when they come, they're going to come in just waves like harvester ants. Alright, the way God showed me a lot of this is going to happen, and basically a lot of what the other prophets are saying also is, with the cataclysmic weather patterns that are now developing, and God's judgment that is sweeping across the land and bringing judgment on individual states, that when these super earthquakes start to happen, more likely what is going to happen is that California is going to be leveled to the ground. I'm not necessarily so sure right off the bat that the first set of earthquakes that hit California will put it in the sea, but I do know it's going to level everything. And with the massive chaos, panic, and confusion going on, from what I'm getting, the communists will set off a couple of ground detonations. There will be a lot of terrorist attacks going on, then the earthquakes, and then the open doors for Chinese invasion. Something's going to set it off. I'm not quite sure if that's right totally, but the Chinese are going to be able to just walk in here. And they're going to come in massive container ships, bringing all their supplies, their Navy vessels. See, our news media does not tell you that China has a 200 million manned army. There's 200 million soldiers in the Red Chinese army. Now in Revelations it says that they'll kill off, what, 1/4 or 1/3 of mankind. This goes back to the world bankers. It goes back to the nucleus of New York City and all what is there. And so with the head bankers, now I could pull out some stuff that would blow your mind about these guys and what they've done, but they've sold all of our debt to Russia and Red China, and then when it all came apart, they were left holding the bag of the debt, and they are not happy campers. Now most of this of what's happening in the world today is economics. And the book of Ezekiel, if you read and study the book of Ezekiel, you will see in the book of Ezekiel, it's all basically about economics. So I encourage you to read the book of Ezekiel, because there's a lot about economics in there and what provoked God there. So basically, when the Chinese come, from what he's showing to me, it's just going to be such a mass invasion. It's going to be like harvester ants. And they're not going to have any mercy. Now, I'm telling you, those of you in California, you need to start looking at the signs. When the earthquakes start to hit, that's time for you to go if you live through the earthquakes and get out of there. It saddens me that our nation has not heeded any of God's warnings since World War II. America, with its pride and its arrogance, and with the trilateral, the Illuminati, and the head Masons getting in and taking over government, taking over state government, taking over the churches. After warning after warning after warning after warning, God's had it. And so now the chastisement is going to be great. So I encourage each and every one of you to fast and pray, and to get with your family members and start to sit down with other Christians and really start to fast and pray. I get a lot of emails from Christians telling me how Christian they are. But in some of my sermons that I've given, that I've told people, I said 90% of the church in America is going to go with the beastorial system. And the people are going to go with the beastorial system because of the simple one reason: they're not going to want to crucify their flesh. Now, when I say that, you start taking all the so-called Christians we have here in the United States, and they have to start going 7, 8, 9, 10 days without food and water when this new world order comes in. They're going to start having second thoughts and go ahead and go with the mark of the beast. And not only that, but they're going to sit there and logically think it out in their mind, saying, well, God's going to understand why I did this. And such a loving God is not going to throw me into hell. We're coming into a point in time now, whether you're either 100% sold out to God unto death, just like the Christians were when Nero was killing Christians, just like the Christians were when Hitler was killing them. You're going to have to be 100% sold out to God Almighty. Now, I encourage you, while there's a little bit of time, that you spend your time praying and fasting, getting away from the TV, getting away from all the ungodly stuff, and pouring your heart out to God and asking Him to reveal gross sin in your life. Ask Him to show you things in your life that you need to deal with. Because He's coming for a bride without spot or blemish. So I just encourage you. I don't like giving these hard words. And like I said, most of the time in my early days in ministry, it was healing and healing people. And a lot of people got healed. And I'm not talking about healed from minor things. I'm talking about people on deathbed being healed of cancer, leukemia, homosexuality, delivered from witchcraft. It was just a couple years ago I brought a witch out of sorcery and witchcraft. Well, God did it. I didn't do it. It was He did it. He just used me. So, in this clip, the only thing I can really say is get ready. Now, remember that I warned that this year, the year 2010, was going to be a severe winter. And I didn't realize it was going to be this severe. I knew it was going to be bad. But when God said that hoarfrost was going to blast from the equator line north, or from the north down, however way you want to look at it, all 48 states have been blasted this year. So, God came through on that one. So I just encourage you, brothers and sisters, not for my name's sake, but for your sake. You have got to set aside all your personal wants, all your personal desires, and come together with your brothers and sisters who are like-minded like you, who you get along with, and pray. When two or more are gathered, there in the midst I shall be. And the Lord is saying, come together and start praying now. Because there's going to come an hour where you're not going to be able to hear from God. It's going to be so bad that you're going to have to stand on His written word. And you're going to have that memorized in your mind. You're going to have it in your heart. So, anyway, all I can say to you is God bless you until the next YouTube, which is, this is 4 of 6, I think. Yeah, this is 4 of 6. So, I'll talk to you in the next clip here. All right.